Mobile has helped Heineken to unveil deep consumer and customer insights, and it has helped them to answer key business questions. We believe that mobile is a critical path of engagement, but mobile is not an issue. The issue here is to be able to find real business implementations that add value to businesses. So let's start. I really like this slide because it shows that there are 7.1 billion people in the world and 6.8 billion mobile cellular issue. The issue here is to be able to find real business implementations that add value to businesses. So let's start. I really like this slide because it shows that there are 7.1 billion people in the world and 6.8 billion mobile cellular subscriptions. I encourage you to go to the ITU website since on Monday the latest figures were published, and the estimation of 6.8 is actually a reality. We've seen a similar trend at Confirmit. This year alone, we're going to capture 20 million surveys, mobile surveys, where 9 million pieces of multimedia data will be captured in there. So I want to go through 4 fundamental premises that keeps us focused to set the scene to this case study. The first fundamental premise is very simple: big data. Mobile brings customer insights in the form of big data. Pictures, GPS, video, audio. There are insights, but they're big data, and they need to be taken into consideration. This is the first insight that, the first fundamental premise that really keeps us focused in Confirmit. The second fundamental premise is that mobile really needs a strategy, a clear strategy for mobile, simply because mobile is very personal. It keeps us connected, and there are studies that suggest that up to 95% of the people will disengage from a bad mobile experience. So the mobile strategy needs to be taken into consideration, and a specific mobile strategy. The third fundamental premise that I want you to keep in mind is technology. The market is very fragmented. There are a lot of operating systems out there. We've got Apple, Android, Windows, and there are a variety of devices. So you have to make sure that when you design your strategy, you engage with a technology partner that is going to take care of this. Otherwise, people will disengage. And the fourth premise, and probably the most important one, is the end-to-end journey. I want you to see from now on mobile as an end-to-end journey. Mobile is just the piece of the puzzle that needs to be integrated, fully integrated, that goes from the capturing of the insights to the analysis or transformation of data into useful business information that drive action. So I want to touch now in 3 areas that need to be considered when engaging in a global implementation: multi-mode, multi-country, and multi-screen. What do I mean by this? This is data capturing. Imagine end-to-end journey. We are capturing the insight. Multi-mode. Mobile brings contextualization. We've all been doing surveys online. This is the personalization of the surveys. You can send a survey and personalize it, send it to the right person at the right time. But mobile brings all those insights where you're capturing all the contextual information. Contextualization tailors the entire experience, including the content. Do not underestimate the other additional channels, and we're designing for a mobile experience or mobile implementation. You should also take into consideration that there are other channels, and this is the multi-mode approach that should also be taken into consideration. You don't know if your respondents are going to use a mobile or they're going to use a desktop. So the multi-mode approach, especially for a global implementation, is critical. Multi-country. There are a variety of devices out there, and you cannot guarantee what type of devices your respondents are going to be using. And what language are they going to be using to answer your surveys? So for a global implementation, a multi-mode experience, this is why it's important to engage with the technology partners that will cater for this. So we're on an end-to-end journey, data capturing, but we believe that at Confirmit, the journey doesn't stop there. We see it as a continuation through the introduction of dashboards that automate this process. This dashboard, I'm going to go through 3 examples of dashboards experience. This is why it's important to engage with the studies, but I have selected these 3 real dashboards using technology, Confirmit technology. This dashboard, for example, shows how, there it is, how you can get unstructured data, big data that you've captured through the insight, and show it through the correlation of sentiment, brand, mood, context, or even pictures, and to be able to filter on the appropriate categories that you want to use. This is very important because we believe that this is where where we feel that the time of your researchers should be spent to add value. Another dashboard shows, we've seen similar dashboards, how you can place on a map all the different locations and correlate it with the pictures captures, the information, and do some filtering. This is where the value is. Make sure that the dashboard automates all these processes and that allows you to really make some business decisions. And the final example goes through, shows how you can show pictures, structure pictures. You could end up with more than 3,000 pictures. In Heineken, we captured in one location 50,000 pictures. So the value of the dashboards, the value that the dashboard brings, it's really allowing your researchers to make strategic decisions and decide if the data is valid, or if it's not invalid, send it back to the field for recapturing purposes on real time. So now that I've shown you the end-to-end journey, I'm going to move into the case study, the Heineken case study. Heineken is a global brand. We've been working with Heineken for more than 4 years, and we help them to profile the market, firstly in Nigeria. Mobile has helped Heineken to capture insights from customers and consumers and make some strategic business decisions. I'm going to show you some of them. Beer. Who doesn't like beer? Hands up. Oh, the other way. Heineken is a global brand with more than 250 brands, global brands. If we ask Heineken how they would characterize themselves, they would say 3 things. We are great marketeers, we brew great beer, and we enter markets more aggressively than any of our competitors. We would probably agree with those 3 things. They have 250 brands worldwide. They brew great beer. And they target markets more aggressively than any of their competitors simply because they believe that this is where the growth opportunities are. And they have decided to take mobile as their business strategy studies, but I have selected these 3 real dashboards. So I'm going to show you an internal video that was created by Heineken. We didn't have anything to do with the video apart from the fact that we got all the print screen, all the screenshots from the dashboards.
This was left for you, sir.
Thank you.
Will there be anything else?
No, it's all.
Good evening, Mr. Hunt. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to understand our customers in Africa and the Middle East. Who are they? Where are they? What are they drinking? Using this mobile device with state-of-the-art programming, you must secure this top-secret information. The following is your mission's dossier.
Agent, you must locate all outlets and segment them by channel. More than 1 million outlets have already been mapped and analyzed with a high level of data integrity. The pressure is on. GPS coordinates will be captured. This will ensure field coverage, and we need them for our geo-marketing intelligence service. You must also identify what drives our customers and our consumers to buy and drink our beer brands. As a result, Mr. Hunt, we expect a full report that tells us where to go, what to do, and how to do it. Trade census, building brand from the ground up.
Heineken will provide you with all the necessary support to achieve your mission. Your beer will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
This is great because when we see a global brand like Heineken making mobile as their competitive advantage, we really see that we are into something. Heineken is a global brand, and they've used mobile as a driver for their business strategy. They feel that they gain some operational efficiencies by analyzing all the data captured from all the mobile trade census program to deploy and make some business decisions. But why Africa? They decided to go for Africa. Well, they've been in Africa for more than 100 years. They have a presence in more than 20 countries, and they grow by acquisition. They acquire breweries, and they deploy their best practices. But the reason for choosing Africa, I'll just give you one set of statistics. McKinsey has estimated that by 2020, 50% of the African population will have spending power. So this is just a real reason for companies like Heineken to enter these markets and grow in these markets. But Africa poses a lot of challenges. There are no big infrastructures like Tesco or Walmart. And there are no bureaus of statistics. So basically, this means that if you want to find the data, you have to find it yourself. There's no other way. So this is why they have decided to go for this trade census approach. Their business is to brew beer. This slide shows the average consumption of beer per person per region. You will be pleased to know that the average consumption of beer in the UK is 101 liters. And the UK is the second country after the Czech Republic, so well done. But their markets are actually not growing. The US is 0 growth, and Europe has got negative growth. But their African markets and Asian markets have got really growth potential. So this is the reason why they've also decided to go for these markets. So they decided to go for the markets, but they had some questions. These are some of the business questions that they had that can be summarized into 3. Where should we place our beer? Who should we sell it to? And how should we distribute it? With those 3 questions in mind, they decided to deploy a program to answer these questions. I'm going to share with you the approach without sharing any proprietary information. So we decided to use a mobile app due to the offline capabilities needed. And on this mobile app, some data was preloaded. Data from the location, data from the competitors, and data from the market. Some best practices were designed simply because we had a very clear message. Heineken wanted us to be ruthless with the rejection of inaccurate data. They gave us a very clear example. If you're looking for flamingos, do not let anything that looks like a flamingo but is an imposter get in the way. Is that clear? This is my Dutch accent. So we automated the rejection process. We call it back-checking. We integrated it into the system. We created the surveys, and we deployed it into a variety of devices. We deployed it using Nokia in Nigeria, BlackBerry in South Africa, and Android in Ethiopia. The reason for this is that in all these different countries, it's not possible to get, for logistic reasons, a large number of devices. So they needed a technology supplier that could really cater for this. We engaged with local organizations that would employ local people to go into the field with very clear instructions. They had to get a map with the route and just simply follow that route and capture every single GPS location for all the different outlets selling beer. They had to capture the GPS location, and they also had to capture some pictures for those outlets. Then go in, ask some additional questions to the sellers of the beer, get information about pricing, and get information about stock. All of this information was sent 4,000 kilometers away to Holland, Amsterdam, for back-checking purposes, to analyze it. The purpose of this is all real-time on the same day. The purpose of this was to make sure that if there were imposters, the data would be sent back to the device for recapturing the following day, or if we had flamingos, make sure that that could be sent to the next phase for analysis purposes. This is an example of a dashboard, just one part of the dashboard that contains all the different GPS locations that were captured for one particular area in Kinshasa. Africa has got a very interesting thing that there are a lot of outlets selling beer, and they're all very close to each other. The data, as you can imagine, we captured 40,000 locations in South Africa, 5,000 in Nigeria, and 25,000 in Ethiopia. We capture all these locations together with multimedia and GPS location, photographs, and what I just said earlier. If something interesting was happening at that time, we also ask them to capture it in the form of a video. So what I'm going to show with you is a video from a beer celebration in Kinshasa. So with this, all this information was analyzed, and it was correlated with with population, local population, to find the gaps, to find out if they needed to place outlets, sell their beer on some outlets, or get away from some outlets and find additional markets. This is another view of the dashboard. And some real business actions were taken. The real added value of this program is that it has allowed them to have operational efficiencies by automating the whole process and allowing them to save time to their sales and distribution network, since they could come out with the route for the key prime locations. They didn't need to go to all the different locations. With all their analysis, they could just select all the critical locations and make sure that the distribution network could concentrate in those locations. Actions were taken in branding to decide that which one were the outlets where they could set some fridges, tables, or some branding. This is an example of a Heineken brand next to a competitor's brand in a prime location. We help them to make money by stealing the business away from their competitors. And this is their added value that this program has given to Heineken. So in summary, I have gone through the end-to-end journey for mobile, and I have gone through the largest trade census implementation carried out in Heineken. It has helped Heineken to unveil the deep consumer insights, and it has helped them to take some actions in branding, sales, and distribution. If there's something I want you to remember from this presentation, it's the end-to-end journey. Mobile adds value as an integrated end-to-end journey that goes from the capturing of the insights, analysis of the data through automated dashboards that transform data into useful business information that drive actions. Thank you.